If you're seeking a dependable relationship, you may be ensnaring yourself in a trap, but we're here to rescue you from that today. If you're curious about whether she's had multiple sexual partners, keep an eye out for certain signs. Are you getting into a relationship, but your gut tells you something's off? Is she being extremely secretive when you ask her about her past, or is she casually spitting out other men's names in a casual conversation? These 10 indicators will give you clear clues about how she has lived her previous life. Keep in mind that finding the right partner who won't play with your emotions and will commit to a long-term relationship is more important than passing judgment, so watch the entire video to find out if a woman is worth dating or if you should break up with her right away. Number 1. Are you really comfortable with physical intimacy? Did your first intimate moment with her turn out to be unexpected rather than wonderful? I mean, you anticipated that it would be extraordinary, but was it excessively extraordinary? Was she excessively at ease and assertive with physical intimacy? This could be a sign that she has been there, done that before. If you are perplexed, allow me to clarify. Rather than you being the one to initiate, she does so with expertise. An experienced woman is not averse to cuddling and kissing. In fact, she is amenable to more sophisticated or unconventional approaches and is amenable to anything you throw at her. I mean, you know what I'm talking about. As a guy, you can tell if it's her first time, or if she's taken part in the Kama Sutra Olympics many times already. So if your gut tells you that she is too experienced in physical intimacy, then it could be a sign you should not ignore, but at the same time, you shouldn't jump to conclusions so early. Some people can be naturally more expressive and talented in bed, so you must look out for the other signs as well to ensure that she is the right partner for you. Number 2. Avoid emotional closeness. Regardless of how strong a man is, there are moments when he feels emotionally exposed and turns to his spouse to fill the void. A spiritual connection and emotional support are some of the most important factors of a relationship because they help the couple endure a hard time together. Sometimes it's not even a tough time. It could be a guy seeking an emotional connection to feel good, but what if your partner doesn't answer your call? What if she is physically there, but emotionally absent? A woman who has had multiple sexual partners before usually shows such behavior and avoids emotional closeness, but can you tell if she is really avoiding the emotional connection? Let's say you're trying to build a conversation with her, but she seems to take the conversations lightly and breezily, or quickly change the subject when you try to talk your way into her heart. She instantly turns the conversation into a more casual one. It's almost like she doesn't want to go there. This can leave you feeling a little empty and wondering if they're just not that into you or if there's something else going on. If you can directly feel it, maybe it is time to stop trying. But once again, it could also be a sign that the person is more reserved or has been emotionally hurt before. Maybe you should give it a little bit more time before making a decision. Number 3. Vague or inconsistent history. One major sign that she may have had multiple sexual partners in the past is the inconsistencies in her history. Let's say months have gone by and you still can't say with confidence that she has shared her past clearly with you, and the things she shared are either too cloudy or inconsistent, which means she tells you one story one day and a different story the other day. Depending on the day, these inconsistencies could be mentioning names of more than one guy, or she may mention a long-term ex in one conversation, then later say they've never had a serious relationship, or she describes a specific hobby they shared with a past partner, but that hobby clashes with their current interests. It's important to remember that not everyone enjoys reliving old relationships. Some people might prefer to focus on the present with you. However, if their vagueness or inconsistencies are making you feel insecure or suspicious, It's worth a gentle exploration. So what should you do in this situation? Have a serious conversation with her about this matter and ask her to explain her past if she is truly interested in a relationship. If she opens up and fills in the gaps with warmth and clarity, her response will reveal more than her words, which is a positive sign. However, if she keeps bringing up inconsistent past events, it may be a sign that you should end your relationship before she plays with you. Keep in mind that you should never make snap decisions like this. Relationships need time and open communication, so give it enough time and see if her past seems to become less clear over time, or if she starts to share it more clearly after you've gained her trust. Number 4. Do you find yourself getting last-minute schedule changes from her? Do you find yourself experiencing this more frequently with her? These changes in her plans can be more annoying than stock market fluctuations, but have you ever wondered why it keeps happening? If she cancels the plans for clear reasons once or twice, it seems reasonable. But if this continues, something is clearly wrong. It's also important to note that she consistently gives evasive explanations for these cancellations. She might say that there was a surprise meeting, but surprise meetings don't happen every other day, or she might say that a friend arrived in town, but she's careful not to reveal who it is. In either scenario, you should stop allowing her to play games with you like this. It's clear that she is prioritizing something else over your relationship, which is a warning sign you shouldn't ignore. It's crucial to keep in mind that everyone has busy lives and that unforeseen circumstances can arise. For example, they may have a demanding job with unpredictable hours or a close friend who needs support during a difficult time. However, if these last-minute cancellations are happening frequently and you feel excluded or unimportant, it's worthwhile to have a conversation with her because communication is crucial in this situation. Simply ask her calmly why she had to repeatedly cancel plans. Tell her that you find this unacceptable and collaborate with her to find a solution. She regularly compares you to her previous partners. A woman who enters a relationship for the first time never compares you to anyone else, because you are all she has ever known. Similarly, if she had previously had several partners, she would have eventually compared you to her ex-partners, whether she intended to or not. Comparing someone with another person can happen unintentionally and is a blatant indication that she may have had numerous men in the past. How can you tell if she compares you to her ex-boyfriends? When you argue with her, she may end up comparing your flaws to those of her ex-boyfriend. These comparisons, though subtle, can make you feel insecure and wonder if you measure up. But more importantly, they can make you unsure of her past life and how many relationships she had in the past. Before you start questioning your own abilities, take a deep breath and tell yourself that the fault is not in you. A person who spends time with multiple partners is likely to compare them, so if she regularly makes comparisons between you and other men, it's important to let her know that you are not someone to mess with. Simply walk away and let her know that you are not your typical man. If you watch this channel, you probably aren't number 6 when it comes to phone usage. Does your partner's phone suddenly become their most valuable possession whenever you're around? Perhaps they quickly switch screens or become extremely private when answering calls in front of you. This phone secrecy may raise suspicions of a cover-up. The reasons for keeping her phone hidden from you are clear. Either she is still in contact with some of her ex-boyfriends, or perhaps she simply wants to ensure that you don't have access to her chat history or pictures from her past. When you ask her to show you her phone, she becomes so defensive that you can't ask her about it anymore, leaving you in a difficult situation. You can't ask her about it any longer. However, before you hastily draw a conclusion, consider the possibility of a different narrative or a plausible explanation. It's possible that some individuals are merely fiercely defending their personal space. If she doesn't change over time, you have the right to terminate the relationship once you've confirmed her phone usage. The couple may have work conversations they don't want to discuss or value their alone time for scrolling, but if the relationship is strong enough, they won't have to hide their phones. Number 7 is all about appearance. She may be very private about her phone and know how you look. Perhaps she spends a lot of time getting ready, constantly checks her reflection, or frequently compliments other people's appearances. Though healthy, taking pride in appearance may indicate that she has been with other attractive people. Men in the past, now you may think, how is focus on physical appearance in any way relevant to the fact that she may have had multiple sexual partners in the past? Right, well, focusing too much on her own, yours or other people's appearance could indicate that she is the kind of person who is more interested in what's outside rather than what's inside. I mean, what she might seek is physical attraction, not an emotional connection. In extreme cases, she might even compare your physical appearance with her ex or any other random person she sees on the phone. So instead of talking with you about things that require emotional depth, if she is spending her time comparing you with others, then you have the right to ask why. And even after a serious discussion about this topic, if she doesn't stop with these superficial conversations, then let her know that it makes you feel insecure and it needs to stop. Otherwise, it would be better to part ways before it's too late to make a decision. Just remember that some people are naturally more image conscious, so even if she acts like this, but her history is crystal clear to you, it just means that that's part of her personality, and she needs to be embraced the way she is. Number 8, disinterest in discussing sexual health. Talking about sex is weird, but is an extremely important topic, especially sexual health that needs to be discussed by every couple. It allows you to ensure you're both on the same page about safe sex practices and create a space for open communication about your sexual desires and needs. But what if she's never interested in talking about sexual health? It could mean she is hiding something up her sleeves that may leave you wondering what could be the reason for her to avoid the topic of sexual health. Is she just too shy to talk about this topic? Well, if she is an experienced woman, then shying away is probably not her thing. There could be several reasons that her disinterest in discussing sexual health could be related to her past. Having multiple partners means that she might also be prone to getting sexually transmitted infections, and the fact that she can also transfer it to you makes her want to stay silent on this topic. Another factor could be her reluctance to face judgment based on her past sexual history or the birth control method she may be using. However, it's crucial to discuss sexual health at all costs, not only for your own health, but also to gain a clearer understanding of whether she has had multiple partners in the past. Therefore, adopt a straightforward approach and assert that discussing these issues is essential for the continuation of the relationship. If she becomes defensive and starts answering your questions, that could be a positive sign. However, if she becomes more defensive and starts giving evasive answers, she is simply exposing herself more, which makes it easier for you to make the difficult decision to remove her number. 9. Uneasiness. Present your friends to you. Meeting your partner's friends is a big step. It's a chance to connect with the people who are important to them and for them to introduce you to their social circle. But what if your partner seems hesitant or avoids introducing you to their friends altogether? Maybe she keeps making excuses about why you can't meet their crew or change the subject whenever you bring it up. This is a very direct sign that she may be hiding something important in her life from you. When a woman is genuinely in a relationship with you, she would want to introduce you to the whole world. Only when there is a risk of something bigger is when she tries to avoid introducing her friends to you. Maybe she's afraid that her friend who are aware of her past can leak information about her sexual history, or the chances are she had been in a relationship with one of these friends before and didn't want to bring it up in front of you. So even when you ask her about her friends, she would change the topic or jokingly dismiss it. This can leave you confused or even make you feel stupid that she doesn't even consider you worthy enough to talk about her friends. So no matter what the reason for hiding her friends is, you cannot let this one slide. Getting in touch with some of her friends directly may help you learn more about her or have a final conversation about whether to continue the relationship. Let's move on to the final and most crucial indicator that will confirm whether she has had multiple sexual partners. As we all know, when we enter a relationship, our partner becomes the most important person in the world to us and takes precedence over everything else. Psychology works this way, so if she's making you feel excluded or has priorities that don't include you, and you consistently find yourself at the bottom of the list, it's simply a sign that she's still focusing on other people. Although it may occasionally seem like she has legitimate reasons for her priorities, it isn't always the case. It's possible that she abruptly begins spending all of her free time with new friends, ignoring plans you had together, or putting hobbies that make you feel excluded first. If you have observed numerous other signs in addition to this one, it is evident that she has had multiple sexual partners in the past. Remember, it's not about judging her. Rather, it's about your ability to handle it. If this becomes too much for you to handle, it's time to bid her farewell for good. If you see some indications, there may always be another reason. My recommendation is that you consider dating her for a while, learn more about her, and determine whether or not she can be a suitable fit for you. At the same time, never accept anything less than what you deserve if you want a committed relationship with a deeper connection. Never give a chance to someone who is just playing around, remembering that you are a valuable man.